Hi everyone, welcome to my 15-minute workout series, and today the equipment which I'm taking is the Swiss ball. So we will be doing all the exercises on or with the use of a Swiss ball. Now this is also called as a stability ball. So whenever you exercise with this particular equipment, your stabilizers are challenged on stable surfaces. So let's get started with the workouts. The first exercise we are doing in this series is called as a Swiss ball squat. Now let me demonstrate to you this exercise. You just need the Swiss ball and a wall for the same. Place the Swiss ball on the wall and it should be in contact with your mid back to lower back region. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and squat down as if you're taking your butt towards the wall to a point where your knee and the hip is in a straight line and you come up. You go down and you come up, you make sure that you keep all your core activation points engaged throughout all points of time. Of course, you can use external equipments with this, but as of now, we are only using the Swiss ball and you can do a squat with this. This is how you do a Swiss ball squat. A Swiss ball plank. You can do this exercise in two ways. One, where the hands are on the ball and the feet are on the floor, and the second, where the feet are on the ball and the hands are on the floor. Now, depending upon your fitness levels, you should pick and choose which one to go for. You can your elbows locked and just one arm plank on this where my shoulder, hip and the knees are in a straight line. Mind you, I'm doing a regressed version, so I'm resting my knees on the floor. I can do a straight leg as well, but my fitness levels don't permit, so I will regress it. Other thing which you can do is you can go on your elbows, do an elbow plank, stay in that position, making sure that your shoulder, hip and the knee is in a straight line. And as I said, the other version is where your feet are on the ball and the palm is on the floor. So I will have to go back for this, come all the way in front to a point where I am able to balance the ball around my shin. I need to keep my shoulder blades retracted and depressed and hold this for time. I can come a bit more in front. The idea is to keep the ball around your shin region. So this is how you do the Swiss ball plank, either by keeping the hands on the floor and feet on the ball, or keeping the feet on the floor and hands on the ball, depending upon your fitness levels. The next exercise in this series happens to be a Swiss ball pelvic lifts. So let me show you this particular exercise and how it's performed. You lie down on the floor, rest your heels on the Swiss ball, keep your knees bent at 90 degrees, maintain a posterior pelvic tilt and lift the hip up and try to have a neutral spine. Of course, your goal is to eventually let your shoulder, hip and knee come to a straight line, maintaining that proper posterior pelvic tilt and going up and coming down. If you want to make it more intense, you can not rest your hip after every rep, but make it a continuous rep. There are other ways of performing this exercise as well, where you keep the hip up, you roll the ball in and out, which is also called as a Swiss ball leg curl. So these are the ways in which you can do a Swiss ball pelvic lift. The Y, the T and the A, but of course I'll be doing it on a Swiss ball. So my stability is going to be challenged big time. So I have to lie down on the ball in such a way that my chest is rested on the ball. I can straighten my knees or I can keep my knees on the floor depending upon how stable I want myself to be. Keeping my spine neutral is my priority. Then you take your hands up, take a thumbs up position, depress your scapula and do small range of motions which is not compromising on your spine. So you can do around 10 reps, 15 reps depending upon what your goal is. You can do the same exercise in a T version. So right now my body is forming almost like a letter T, and you can also do something called as an A. So this is the easiest because your arms are extremely close to your body. This is more challenging, and this is the most challenging because you have to keep your scaps depressed and retracted in the Y position. In the T position, your scaps just need to be retracted, and in the A, the scaps are retracted because this is more closer to your midline of the body. This is very helpful for training your postural muscles around your scapula. So please make sure that you try this. The last exercise of this routine happens to be the Swiss ball dead bug. Now this can be done in two ways. One is where the knees are bent at 90 degree and one where the legs are straightened out completely. When you have a good amount of flexibility and mobility is the only time you can keep your legs completely straightened and do this exercise. So please pick and choose the intensity depending upon your mobility and your flexibility. So let me demonstrate to you the exercise in both the ways. Of course, you can do it contralateral and ipsilateral, that I leave it to you. So first I'll be demonstrating the bent knee one, where you are holding the ball between your palms and your knees, and then you take one hand and the other. So I am doing something. This is a contralateral. Of course, I can try doing ipsilateral movement depending upon my core strength. Now, if I want to try the straight leg version, I have to hold it here straight and do that. Depending upon what my goal is, as I mentioned earlier. So please pick and choose which one suits for you, depending upon your fitness levels. This is how you do a Swiss ball dead bug.